Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I would like to talk about Xbox Series X and what's going on with that console globally. I'm talking about demand, sales and shortages, believe it or not, as well. There's two updates from Microsoft I want to talk about today, really. And the first one is coming from the CFO of Microsoft, so the financial officer. I forgot what her name is really, but few days ago, a week ago or something like that, there was this financial call where Microsoft was discussing their financial business side of things, and obviously, they see growth all around, even at Xbox division. For the most part, services are growing, game sales are growing. Call of Duty made a huge splash in the industry. So that's all good news, but the bad news is that console sales is going down. They don't really sell as many consoles as they would like to, I guess, right? So it declined like 30% year over year, I think. And according to this financial officer, they are expecting the hardware business the sales to go down in next quarters as well. So they are already predicting, they are already telling everyone that don't expect Xbox Series consoles to sell well. And the question is why, right? I mean, why would you do that, right? Shouldn't you be hyping the console up? Obviously, when it comes to financials and that kind of stuff, they cannot really lie. They cannot overhype things. They have to be very realistic and stuff, right? But I mean, what would you expect? They are telling everyone that you don't need an Xbox, that every single device in the world is an Xbox. But Xbox, even PlayStation now is an Xbox, because you can play Xbox games on PlayStation 5 no problem, and there's going to be more coming. Microsoft don't have a problem with that, and I'll talk about Phil Spencer comments in a minute too. And they're not really spending any money on marketing when it comes to consoles. I do see a lot of ads for Xbox Game Pass or Xbox games in general, not a single one for Xbox consoles. Here in Poland, Xbox is not even available in stores. I think that there's some shortages of Xbox consoles even in other parts of the world, not every single country, of course, but so the real question is, why is that happening? Why they are not really pushing for more console sales? They are not marketing. They are not making any efforts, right? That's the thing, right? They seem to not care, right? Even though we know that the next Xbox is coming, they are working on a new console. When it comes to console sales per se, they're not really that bothered about it. Their gaming business is healthy and everything, it's growing steadily, but you would think that selling more consoles would be good for your business, but they don't really think that way, right? Obviously they're not telling that more console sales is bad for the business, but they don't seem to care that much, right? Not as much as Nintendo or PlayStation for that matter, right? And the second update I want to talk about is the recent interview of Phil Spencer with Xbox Era. You can check that interview on their channel. Very good interview. And in that interview, they spoke about many things really, but Xbox related. And there's two things that Phil Spencer said, very important things. One thing is that they will not force anyone to buy their console, right? That's why you don't really see any marketing campaigns for the console and that kind of stuff. Many months ago, Phil Spencer said that most people actually made up their minds when it comes to platform they like. That's why they won't be forcing Xbox or anyone anymore. They rather, give you an option. You want Xbox, here it is. But if you don't want an Xbox, you can still play the same games on other platforms like PlayStation, PC, Nintendo Switch 2 in the future. That's the future, right? That's the way they're going with it. So that's one update. But the second part of it is the fact that they focused a lot on the cloud, right? And during that conversation, that interview, they were discussing a case of, I think, John's friend or something, where he's more of a PlayStation guy and he don't really have any interest in buying an Xbox. And he said that he really wanted to play Indiana Jones without waiting for a PlayStation version. So what he did? Well, he subscribed to Game Pass. And he played the Indiana Jones, and he was really amazed with the game and that kind of stuff. He was really glad that he did that. And Phil Spencer just clapped his hands, like, not literally, obviously, but he said that, yeah, this is what we've been trying to tell people, that not everyone is in Xbox, not everyone wants an Xbox, not everyone wants to. It's not even necessarily about switching from PlayStation to Xbox, but even buying a console as a secondary device. People just don't want that. Like too many devices is pointless as well. And to be honest with you, Phil Spencer, not during that interview, but he said that many times in the past, what's the point of selling a console that you will buy a console for 1 or 2 games, you will play them and not going to use that console anymore? It's just wasted money. And for Microsoft as well, because they're not really going to make a lot of money on you, because they are losing money on consoles. And how much money they will make on these 2 games that you probably going to buy. They probably make the same money on other consoles, so why sell you an Xbox? You may as well just subscribe to Game Pass and play via cloud. That's their new model, and I understand it, right? Why forcing people into that when you can make more money selling the same games on way more platforms? And of course, you still have got your own ecosystem, Xbox console and PC and Game Pass and everything, and cloud. And one of the reasons why I think there's been some issues with Xbox Series X sales, Xbox Series console sales, is also the fact that they've been investing heavily in cloud, because a couple of weeks ago there was this news saying that they want to make xCloud better in terms of quality, right? The actual input lag and the actual gaming experience is actually pretty good with Xbox game streaming, or xCloud, however you want to call it. But the problem is the image quality, right? It's just the bitrate is just too low, right? And one of the reasons may be that I think when they use Xbox Series X chips in the server blades, you can run, I think, 2 or 3 instances of Xbox Series S on that Xbox Series X chip, right? So having just one. So instead of putting that chip into the console, they put that chip into the server in the cloud, and people can share that one chip playing 2 or 3 games. I guess it all depends on the games as well. And I think obviously that wasn't really said out loud, but I would imagine that what they're doing right now is they want to provide more Xbox Series X blades that would actually probably run less instances, but with better quality, right? That would be my take on it, right? It hasn't been confirmed, but there's no doubt in my mind that they've been building these server farms for xCloud and all over the globe, really. and they need these chips. And if they use these chips for xCloud, they can't use them for consoles. And that's why, in my opinion, in some parts of the world there's shortages. Not because there's shortages of these consoles, not because so many people bought them, right, and they sold out. I mean, they sold out, sure, but not because there was so much interest, but they've just run out of stock because they didn't provide more consoles, right? And one of the reasons, in my opinion, is that they've been using these chips in xCloud, for xCloud. And I don't know, once they upgrade, maybe there's going to be more available in the future, who knows, right? But it is what it is. And at the end of the day, their strategy moving forward is clearly multi-platform, more multi-platform games. And they still want to offer you a platform, but not necessarily in a form of a console. I mean, that's going to be an option still. They still going to have another console in few years time, but generally speaking, it's more about like xCloud and Xbox Game Pass and PC and availability of their games on other platforms. It's all about making money, really. So yes, they are going multi-platform, but with their own platform. So I guess saying that Xbox is a new Sega, it just doesn't make much sense, because Sega just quit out of the hardware business. Xbox is not doing that because A, they will be still providing their console, and B, they are still making these chips for server blades, so they will still need that hardware even far into the future, right? Like even in 20-30 years time, they will still need that hardware in the cloud. Even if people won't be buying consoles anymore, or at least Xbox consoles, Microsoft will still have to produce some form of chips that will run these Xbox games, whether these chips will be proper Xbox chips, or I don't know, some form of multi-use kind of chips. I don't know, some PC chips. To be honest with you, like next generation Xbox is going to be more like a PC-like APU, in my opinion. Anyway, I don't think that it's going to be more like consoles. Obviously, it's still going to be a proper Xbox Windows system will be run on it, but I think it's going to be more of a PC APU rather than anything else. But to be honest with you, like even current gen consoles, these are just modified PC APUs as well. I mean, it's not like some super custom technology, it's just PC stuff, right? Like Zen 2 CPUs and RDNA 2 based GPUs, to be honest with you. So anyway, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.